Hello everyone, this is Jake from Paranormal. I'm here at this old cemetery, actually the George Paris Cemetery, one of the most haunted cemeteries I've ever investigated. And I want to talk a little bit about how to investigate old cemeteries such as this. Now this cemetery dates back to the early 1800s, about the time of the War of 1812. And there's a lot of these cemeteries scattered along the East Coast. And there's a certain way you investigate them, a certain way I like to investigate them, and I want to share a little tips with you. The very first one is you have to be extremely patient with the location. The spirits, they aren't performers. They, as soon as you turn on your spirit box, your voice recorder, they won't immediately start speaking. If you see me looking off, I'm either fighting the bugs or I'm seeing movement out of the corner of my eye, which this cemetery is very known for. But you have to be extremely patient. Usually takes spirits, in my opinion, about 5 to 10 minutes for them to warm up before they will start speaking to you. So during that time, search your energy, and I don't mean assert as in assert your dominance, but make your presence known, make your intentions known, why you're at this cemetery, that you're there respectfully, what you plan on doing, what your goals are, because you're being honest with spirits. It's almost like talking to a brand new person. If you want to get to know them, just say, hey, think you're a cool person, I'd like to get to know you. It's kind of like that with the paranormal. The spirits will respect you. So that was something that was drilled into my head early on when I got into the paranormal. The second thing is watch the ground. The cameraman just looking at the ground here, it's starting to grow up just a little bit. Now I know this isn't exactly paranormal related, but these cemeteries, a lot of them, they're old and abandoned. This one is semi-abandoned. They still do maintenance on it every once in a while, to my knowledge. I don't know exactly how often they do maintenance on it, but a place like this is perfect for ticks, perfect for snakes, and perfect for all sorts of critters. And I'll shoot some footage of the path leading up here, but it's basically almost like an ambush. So always be aware of your surroundings, not just for the spiritual reasons, but also for the physical reasons, the bugs, the animals, the snakes. In fact, there was one time I checked out a cemetery and there was a snake that was in the grass. Never saw it until I was about 1.5 feet away from it. So you just always have to watch yourself. And it would be terrible to go to a cemetery and you end up a ghost yourself. That just wouldn't end well. And then the third thing, very, very important, always be respectful to the spirits. I'm actually going to dovetail this into the conclusion of an investigation. When you go to places like this, the spirits, they don't know you. I know this kind of dovetails into my first point, but it's extremely important. I can't stress it enough. When you leave a cemetery like this, you're more apt to have a spirit follow you home, because there's a sense, I may be wrong, but there is always that energy of, they're forgotten here. Not a lot of people come up here. So, any chance that someone gets to talk to them, someone shows them attention, they might, they don't want to lose that attention. So they will try to follow you home. That's why, before we leave cemetery, before I leave any location, you have to say, thank you for everyone who attempted to speak to us. Thank you for all the answers, replies, evidence you gave us. You have to stay here. And you can say that out loud. I know a lot of people, they like to say it out loud. I like to say it in my head, but kind of in a weird way, I project that message out. There's a way you can do that with your energy, and there's a way you can do that with your train of thought. So those are some very important tips on investigating old cemeteries. And something else that I like to do personally, I love to do as much research as possible into notable people that may be buried here, because it's almost like any other location. If you can get intelligent responses that's location accurate, location specific, that's like the holy grail. So I just wanted to share a few of those tips with you all today. Actually, I'm going to do a spirit box session here in a little bit. Hopefully it'll be active, but I'm kind of not feeling it right now. Just every once in a while you go to those places that was active before, but it's not active now. So it goes back into being patient. But what are your thoughts on investigating old cemeteries, and what's the oldest cemetery you've ever investigated, and what'd you experience there? But signing off, I'm Jake from Paranormal. Have a great day, everyone.